Welcome to Automate Your Agency. Every week, we bring you expert insights, practical tips, and success stories that will help you streamline your business operations and boost your growth. Let's get started on your journey to more efficient and scalable operations.
So, Alane, a couple weeks ago, you went to, I think, an annual event in Washington, D.C.?
It's not annual. It is more sporadic.
Okay, so like a sporadic event in D.C. for Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business programs, right? And
Yeah.
we've talked about this 10KSB program. Man, last year, I don't know. I don't remember what episode we talked about it in, but they're cool groups to join. And I thought it'd be interesting if you wanted to share some of your experiences there, because I get it secondhand as you're getting excited and being at these events. But maybe we can just talk about it so other people can get the insight into what goes on and what are these, not only just events, but the 10KSB program as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, that program really changed my life personally and then changed our business as well because of the network that we've made from it. So I didn't have any idea what this Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business program was until I got referred to the program by a lady in our town in Tennessee. It is the best way I can explain it is a crash course MBA program for you in your business because you're going through this program, working on your business. It's 12 weeks. It's so tough because, we already work a lot. It's not like we're sitting there going, man, I wish I had more things to do. So it's a lot of work because you're working on your business throughout this program while you're running your business. And the content is so valuable, number one, because you're really thinking about a growth plan. What is it that I want to do to continue to grow my small business? And at the end of it, that's what you do. You have this growth plan, but you're going through this program and you're finally around other business owners, which in a lot of times you're kind of isolated if you're not a part of these business groups. And then when you're an alumni, you are a part of now 17,000 other business owners that have gone through it.
So the original, it was called 10,000 Small Business. The original name was that their goal or what?
That was their goal. Yeah, they just started. This year was their 15-year anniversary of starting the program. And Goldman Sachs has a foundation that covers all the costs. So this is free for business owners that are eligible. So there's certain eligibility you have to apply. But yeah, so their goal 15 years ago was to have 10,000 people through it. And this year marked their 15th anniversary and had 17,000 business owners.
That's super cool. I remember when you were going through the program and how much effort and work it was. It was like you were in college all over again, trying to get your homework done, trying to get, all right, I got to catch up with this. This is due tomorrow. They're expecting this. I've got to present on this. And while that sounds intense, it forced you, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but from an outside perspective, it forced you to look at things that you probably wouldn't have just opted to go, well, I'm going to spend extra time looking at this today.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have a module on finance, and I just don't love that part. And that's most people's sentiment and going through the program too is like, this part. But you do really learn a lot about your numbers and not just cash flow, but balance sheets and how all of those things work together. Leadership, we are forced to be leaders, but what kind of leader are we? And how do our teams perceive us? And how do we improve based on our type of leader? And so each week is a different module. And yeah, it did feel like you were in college, but the stakes were bigger because this is your business, not just something, that you're striving to do over 4 years, but something that you've got 12 weeks to do.
Yeah. And so you went through the program. You've met, maybe share some of the people that you've met and relationships that you gained from it. Might be a better way to ask that question.
So I'll back up just for 1 second. So the reason the summits they're sporadic is the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program is really just about that 12-week program. And then they have this alumni piece to it. And every so often they announce that there's a summit. And I mean, Micah, whenever they announced it, I immediately tagged you in front and was like, oh my gosh, they're doing another one. I am there for it. And I was probably one of the first people to register because there's only so many spots. Out of 17,000, they had 2,200 spots to go to this. And
Wow.
so it was such a big deal. And so back to your question about the relationships. So I had the opportunity to be a handful of people that they interviewed there for some recording. And I got emotional talking about it. And I can still feel the emotions bubbling up right now because I have got the greatest friendships from this program that have changed my life. I mean, I've traveled the world with them. They have become dear friends. I mean, I'm going out to New York in December to celebrate Brenda's 20th anniversary of her company. I'm going to be there with her team because that's how close we are now. And so, that has it's given me so much to be a part of this. And I in even just looking at the previous summit that I went to, they had one 3 years ago was the last one that they had. And from having a conversation with one of the alumni, that's how we became members of EO and being an EO and just how much even being a part of that has changed our lives
Completely.
and our businesses. That's the biggest thing is like you finally have people to go to talk about business stuff. And sometimes that's casual conversations and sometimes that's I'm really having a hard time.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think even your involvement, because I guess if we were to relate it to like school, you've gone above and beyond. You went for that extra credit. Whatever you put into it, you got back in 2x, 3x, like I don't know if we could measure that, but you have definitely, I mean, I've watched and seen you go through the program, and then when you were done, you weren't just like, well, that was fun, cool, I'll move on with my life and never think about this again. You did follow up with those people. You did follow up with those relationships. You've stayed in touch with the people that are putting on the summits. And
Mhm.
so you got to do something very special at this summit. Do you want to share what that was?
Yeah, and I will say so what I always tell the 10KSB program is for every minute I invest in 10KSB, I get 10x the value because it has given me so much and that's a
So
true
you
statement.
can measure it.
I measure it like that. And I do stay in touch. I put so much effort into it. When they will announce, as an alumni, they will announce different in person events throughout the country. And I always go to one of them. They might have three different ones across the US, but same topic. I'll pick one and go. And because of that, every minute I spend, even if I'm traveling to go to this in person workshop for the day, I get 10x the value in it. And so I keep popping up all these places. And so the 10KSB team knows me. And it's just been an incredible relationship and the energy that they have and the energy that I bring. And so I had the opportunity to get interviewed while I was there and also be on stage presenting one of the presenters. It sounds silly saying that, but a part of the program and going to the summit is they asked 10KSB alumni to be on stage and present one of the big speakers. So this year we had the founder of Home Depot, Michael Phelps, Martha Stewart, two of the Sharks, Kevin O'Leary and Damon Johns, like these huge names. And so they look for businesses that are similar that a 10KSB alumni owns to present the next presenter. And so I got that opportunity to be on stage in front of 2,500 people. And it was just so amazing to be a part of that and go through what it looks like on the inside too. Cause I had to write a script and go to rehearsal and be on stage in front of that many people and get comfortable with it in a very short amount of time.
I mean, that's so cool because even out of the 17,000, there were what, 2,200 you said that could be at this event? And
Mhm.
how many people were actually asked to intro the presenters?
I mean, maybe 10 or 15. I can't remember how many, but
Okay.
yeah, it's a small
It's a
pool of
very small
people.
percentage.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So
And
but
go ahead, Micah.
go ahead.
The biggest key that I've found is people have, and this is in business, this is anything in our lives, people have to know who you are and I never expected anything in return. I wasn't going to these events going, I'm going to get something from them other than knowledge. I'm going because they are giving something to us for free. The only thing I have to do is get myself there, and I'm going to learn something. I'm going to build a new friend. I mean, I know I cut you off, Micah, but so I was
We
walking
were going
around.
the same direction.
Okay.
So
So you never all of these small things you don't realize when they're happening, right? Because they're small. It's a one relationship that you've made that was really you think it's an honor at that time because made that relationship, but you don't realize what has been building over the last. So I graduated in 2021 from the program. So it's 4 years I've been an alumni. And I'm walking around with my friend Amy, that her and I graduated together. And we're at the closing reception, and she grabs my arm and she's like, "How does every single person know who you are?" And I'm like, "Because we graduated at the same time, but she saw how many people knew me by name and stopped me. Like, we couldn't walk 10 steps without somebody stopping me and saying hi." And Micah, I sent you 2 pictures while I was there because people listened to our podcast and they were a fan. They were like, "Wait, I listen to you every single week." And I was so excited to have that moment with them and having that like real person experience that's been listening to us and saying how much they enjoy hearing us. So it was just this real surreal moment for me. But yeah, Amy was like, "How do people know who you are?" I'm like, "Because I'm always around."
And so, I mean, I think what I hear when you talk about this too, Elaine, and we talk about this internally a lot, but it's, we can do all kinds of content. We can be out on the web and we can get these forms and leads filled out, but it's a whole nother story when you're interacting in person, when you're presenting, when you're on stage in front of 2,200 people, right? Like, when you're always showing up at these events, when you're taking that extra effort instead of avoiding that or not taking that. And it's such a big impact for us and that network. And I mean, I even think about all the things that we run into, and you're always coming up with ideas on like, oh, well, I could call this person and like maybe somebody knows this. And you've done amazingly well building these networks because of this.
There's something that changed in my mindset when I had this opportunity. I was in such a dark place. And Micah, you and I have a mental health episode on just our own
Hell, I
depression.
have
And
mental health episodes every week. What are you talking about?
I mean, a podcast episode about it.
Podcast episode. Got it. Yeah.
And you and I, building our previous agency together, we were so alone.
Yes.
We constantly said, if we just had someone to call, we said that all the time because we knew no one. We had
Mm-hmm.
no one in our network. And somehow we still built up that company. We still sold it. And I just think, had we had more relationships that didn't need anything from us other than to be in our bubble of friends, we could have done something bigger and better had we not been so alone. And so coming out of that experience and knowing what I don't want to do is why I have invested so much time and effort into it, is because I don't want to be through that again. Even if we ever grow something and we sell it again, I don't want to be lost without a community. Now,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what happens, I still have a fallback community to be on because my life does not revolve around the community I've built in this business. My community is outside of this business. And so people look at me and they think, "Wow, how do you have the time?" And I'm going, because I know what it's like not to have this. And you don't know until you know what that experience is like.
I mean, I think that's a perfect close to this episode, Elaine. That is like, I don't want to diminish that point at all. That is exactly the point of all of this. If I could add anything to it, you've changed my mind on all of this because I used to try to avoid things like this. And we went through that sale and we didn't have the network. Every contact that we had with that business left with the sale. And we just sat around looking, going, huh, cool. Now what?
Yes. So if anybody is interested in it, there is certain eligibility, but I'd be happy to send you the information on it and be a referral because I want to change your life just like it changed mine.